Hey to all of you guys, what's going on YouTube's 3D Res? Welcome back to a Pokemon Pocket. I bet you did not envision this video happening, but hey, here we are. It's been like, what, 3 weeks now since I played this game last? 3 weeks since I last streamed it. Checking out new cards today for Celestial Guardians. Yes, I've seen the trailer from last week. And I've got to obviously say, because you guys don't know my opinion on this one, but there's a few questionable cards in there, obviously. But hey, we're going to see what all of the cards are in the set, and then we're going to accumulate and collect our thoughts at the very end. Just like we do for every set review. I don't know what the cards are. I haven't seen these cards prior to this. I have no idea what 1-155 is. So let's start off with it, shall we? And we're going to be looking at Exeggcute, Order 66. So, obviously, we knew that Alolan stuff is coming, which obviously means Alolan Exeuggtor. I've been banning on about this thing for a while now. So, it's a 2-cost, 30 damage, and a 60 HP. And Alolan Exeuggtor will be coming out of 3-cost, 150 damage, for 150 HP. And it is a 1 grass, 2 neutral. So, flip a coins, if tails, this attack does nothing. Nothing. That's it. You're going to get 0 damage. You can either get 0 or you can either get 150. It's 1 coin as well, may I add. So you've got a 50-50 chance of dealing 150 damage. I don't know what the meta is anymore. I don't know if Darkrai is still running around. But all I know is that Darkrai will die in 1 hit to this here. That's cool, right? That's cool. But yes, it's a 1-hit wonder. You either get the coin, you don't get the coin. 150 damage a pop. So be it. But it's a massive 4 retreat cost. Massive. Isn't he Shiinotic Apex Exegcute a 3-cost to retreat with? I don't know for sure. But whatever. But yeah, that's that. We knew it was coming. Pretty cool nonetheless. 3-cost though. But you can use this with Leafeon or whatever else. So there is that one. Surskit. It's a 1-cost. 10 plus, flip coin if heads, attack does 20 more damage. Very standard. And we have ourselves a Masquerain. 1 cost, 40 damage, 90 HP. So it's basically the likes of Shiinotic. I always refer back to Shiinotic with this one because it's the obvious thing, right? It is literally the likes of Shiinotic. There's really nothing else to it. Next up we have ourselves a Maractus. 2 cost, 40 damage. And it is 90 HP. Okay. And we have ourselves Karrablast. 1 cost, 10 damage, 60 HP. And Phantump. So this is a neutral energy as well. And so is one of these here. Neutral energy and grass energy. So there's going to be a fair amount of CG with Leafeon going around still. I can see that becoming a thing. So if you were to have paired the brand new Exegcute with the Exeggcute that brings energy in from the pool, that could be cool as well. Has my game crashed? No, it hasn't. It has not. But yes. That is Karrablast. Phantump. I wonder what Trevenant is going to look like. So there's a 1 cost, 20 damage at 60 HP. And we have ourselves Trevenant. There he is. 3 cost, 80 damage, 130 HP. Nothing else, man. That is it. So it's a bottomless 130 HP for 3 cost 80 damage. That is abysmal. That is absolutely abysmal. That should have been 2 cost 80 damage. Yeah, that is abysmal. Wow. And I know Trevenant is also a fan favorite too, by a lot of people. Wow. Okay. Rowlet. 1 cost, leafage 20. So with the starters we saw in the trailer, they have 2 different forms. Well, not forms, but they've got 2 different cards. And the cards do different things as well. So there's the Rowlet. There's that one. There's the second Rowlet, Skill Dive. This attack does 10 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Essentially that. So you can attack the bench if you wish to do so. Then we have ourselves Dartrix, 1 cost, Razor Wind, 30 damage, 80 HP. Decidueye Ex. Okay, so I just want to go back there. There is not 2 Dartrixes. So there's only 2 of the starters and not 2 of the next evolution. Okay. I was going to be thinking there was going to be 2 of the next evolution, but there isn't. Interesting. But yes, the Decidueye Ex. Now, I also want to interject here as well. I wonder if they're going to have an EX for all of the starters. Because obviously, with the previous set, they had an EX with Infernape. They didn't have one for Torterra or Empoleon. And we still haven't got that. Chances are, we're never going to get those. So, the Decidueye Ex, 2 cost, Pierce the Pain. This attack does 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon that has damage on it. My god. Forget about Cyrus. Okay, he doesn't exist anymore. We're doing this instead. A 2 cost for 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon that has damage on it. Or you can do 2 cost, Razor Leaf, 80 damage, but bearing in mind this is neutral energy. So you can put this into any deck and only use this ability alone. Or use this attack alone, excuse me. Ooh. And yes, 170 HP for 1 retreat cost. That is a whopper. That is indeed a whopper. Okay. That's going to be troublesome, I can already tell. Grubbin. 1 cost, Nor. Nor is back. We have Fomantis. 1 cost, 20 damage at Leafage. Luranits. 1 cost, Petal Blizzard. This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Woo! That's spicy. So that's going to be 90 HP. Chances are you're only going to use this thing once. If you're lucky, you can use it twice. But a 1 cost that does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. That's including the active and obviously the bench as well. Wow. That's going to be used a lot. I can tell. And of course, if you use that at the likes of Decidueye, you're seeing the connection here. Oh, that's going to be pretty troublesome. Alright, Morelull and a brand new Shiinotic. 1 cost, Stampede, 10 damage. 2 cost, Flickering Lights, 50 damage. Flip a coin if heads, the defending Pokemon can't attack during your opponent's next turn. Alright, it's 100 HP. So it's beat the curse of having, say, 40 or 50 damage, only having 90 HP. It's finally beat the curse. But it's coming in at a 2 cost retreat though. But still, it's beat the curse. Well done, Shiinotic, well done. Alright, Bounsweet. Oh, that means Tesserina is coming in too. Okay. 1 cost Stampede, 20 damage, 50 HP. Steenee. 1 cost, double spin 30 times. Flip 2 coins, attack does 30 damage for each heads. Whew! So that could be 60 damage there. Yeah, 60 damage. Okay. Similar to Tinkertink, or was it Tinkertuff? No, Tinkertuff, excuse me. Similar to Tinkertuff. And then we have Tesserina. There she is. 1 cost, free kick combo, 50 times. Flip 3 coins, attack does 50 damage for each heads. So it's a coin flip menace. Okay, it's not bad. I mean, it's a very cheap one though. Exceedingly cheap. Exceedingly cheap. But of course, it is that evolution line. Are you willing to evolve into this? I don't see why you shouldn't be. But it's a 1 cost. The only other 1 cost Evo line I remember was way back with Genetic Beedrill. But of course, Kakuna had a 2 cost to attack with. But yes, this is that in a similar vein. I like it though. It's pretty cool, but it's that coin flip, which is obviously annoying. But yeah, that's pretty cool though. Wimpod. Ability, Wimp Out. During your first turn, this Pokemon has no retreat cost. It's a free cost for 30 damage. And if I remember correctly, Wimpod is actually the pre-evolved form. But it's a free retreat cost, but yes, if you do flip the coin, you get a no retreat cost. Oh no, sorry, there's no flip coin. It's an ability. So if you have this thing on the active, you can yoink it out without having to obviously pay the retreat cost. And what is Golisopod looking like? Golisopod? Golisopod? What is Golisopod looking like? Free cost, first impression 60+. If this Pokemon moved from your... Okay, so they're doing this. If this Pokemon moved from your bench to the active spot this turn, this attack does 60 more damage. So it's only 120 damage, right? Only. So you're going to have 120 health for 120 damage. But if it hasn't moved from the bench to the active this turn, you're going to do 60 damage flat. But it's a free cost. That's hefty. So you have to think to yourself, is it going to be worth doing? But of course, then you can fall back on the fin of, say, I don't know, do people still use Lilligant these days? Superior could be back up on the rise. Could be, I'm just saying. But yeah, I like this though. Golisopod works well, obviously, with Wimpod moving in from the bench to the active, obviously. Yeah, it's cool to see something like that happen. It's very cool. Dhelmise Ex, not what I was expecting at all. So what is this? A free cost anchor shot 80 damage. Junior opponent's next turn, defending opponent can't retreat. You know, I'm going to go off on a whim, okay? There's two things I'm thinking about here now. This is useless if you're not running Superior. However, if you are running Superior, this is legit. Absolutely legit. Because we know that your opponent's next turn, the defending opponent can't retreat. We know that is the likes of Galvantula, obviously Arbok, Houndoom. So this is going to be Superior back up on the rise now. Okay, but it is an EX though. Bear that in mind, and by the time you have Superior online, you're probably not going to need this anymore. And it's 140 HP, so that's pretty low for an EX. And pretty high cost as well for very little damage. Okay, that's a mixed bag, that one. Tapu Bulu. Free cost, stuck in tackle, 100 damage. Flip a coin if it tells Pokemon also does 20 damage to itself. Okay. So flip a coin if it tells Pokemon does also 20 damage to itself. Right. I remember with Confusion, back in the mainline games, doesn't happen in this game. But with Confusion, if you didn't actually succeed in attacking that turn, you take damage yourself. So this is coming in the form of that, but now with a coin flip. But it's a free cost for 100 damage, 120 health. If I remember, there's actually 3 of these things. I don't know what their names are. I think it's maybe Tapu Bulu, Tapu Zulu. I don't know, I'm just going off the whim saying that. But yeah, I remember there are 3 of these. There's one that looks like a Torii Gate. It's got a nose ring, like a bull's nose ring or whatever. I don't know. And there's 2 others as well. Then we have Growlithe. Alright, brand new Arcanine. 2 cost Combustion, 30 damage. Very similar to Charmander. And here's Arcanine. 3 cost Fire Main, 80 damage, 130 health. Is that worse than the other Arcanine? Whoa. We didn't see that, okay. Okay. I don't really know how to feel about that one. I mean, obviously now you're not taking the 20 damage to the face, or to yourself personally. I don't know how to feel about that one. I don't. Yeah. I'm not a fan of that. I gotta admit. So it's exactly the same cost. Exactly 2 fire, 1 neutral. But instead now you're taking minus 20 damage, but you're not having damage dealt to yourself as well. I don't know how to feel about that. That feels like a downgrade. And this card never got seen play either. Never did, may I add. But yeah, that very much seems like a downgrade. Another mixed bag. Alright, Alolan Marowak. So we saw this one in the trailer. 3 cost, burning boomerang 70 times, flip 2 coins, this tag does 70 damage to each head. If at least one of them is heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now burnt. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. But is that 3 cost though? Pretty hefty there. But you could use this on the likes of Moltres, for instance, same with the new Arcanine as well. Yeah, I mean, I could like this. Alolan Marowak is in the game, rejoice. It's a very cool one though. I like this Pokemon in general. It's a very nice looking card. Very nice looking card. Yeah, I can see that getting played. Alright, Fletchinder. 1 cost, steady fire, Bravian 30 damage. And ourselves Talonflame. 2 cost, fire wind 90 damage, 120 HP. So it's Ninetails, but you don't remove energy from yourself. I like this, and of course it's weak to electric and not water. Bear that in mind. Yeah, I like this. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But it doesn't work with Blade. It doesn't work with Blade. Wait, hang on. Where's Fletchling? Huh? Wait, I just clocked. Where's Fletchling? Where is he? Well, he's down here. Okay, so Fletchling is 50 HP for 1 cost 20 damage. Yeah, I don't know. Why is he not here for? Whatever. But yeah, that's pretty cool though. I like that Talonflame. It's very nice. It's a 2 cost as well, which is good. Very good. Alright, let's go and see ourselves the Inferno PX here. So a 1 cost Heat Tackle 30 damage. This Pokemon also does 10 damage to itself. Litten, 1 cost Scratch 20 damage, 60 HP. Pretty weak on curve there. And we have ourselves Torracat. Oh, no, sorry. This is the other version of it. Yes. It's the other version of it. Alright, Torracat, 1 cost, 40 damage, Heat Tackle. This Pokemon also does 10 damage to itself. So you're not really going to use this alongside the other Litten that does damage to itself. If you do that, you're just asking for it at that point. I don't think that's going to happen, but hey. It could, right? It could. And Incineroar Ex. So, 1 cost, Fire Fan, 30 damage. This, well, your opponent's active Pokemon is now burnt. That's a very cheap way to get your opponent's active Pokemon burned. Now, bearing in mind, burn does 20 damage. If you fail to flip the coin, you're going to take 20 damage more at the end of your turn. So it's 20 damage at the beginning of your turn, and 20 damage at the end of your turn if you fail to flip the coin. That can be very troublesome. Very quickly as well. This is a 1 cost. And we have 3 cost, Scar Charged Smash 80 plus. If this Pokemon has damage on it, this attack does 60 more damage. Eat your heart out, Wolfie Glick. And it's 180 health as well. 140 damage potentially. But with this here, it works in tandem. I can get behind that. Yes, this seems very cool. Very, very, very cool. I can really get behind that. Very nice indeed. And that EX looks bloody amazing. And the full art as well. Holy crap. But yeah, I can really get behind this one. Massively. Alright, Oricorio. 2 cost, Kindle, 40 damage. Discard a random energy for both active Pokemon. Interesting. Salandit. 1 cost, Gnaw, 20 damage, 50 HP. And Salazzle Dazzle. 2 cost, Heated Poison. They're still going with the poison theme with Salazzle, aren't they? They still are. They still very much are going with the poison theme. I don't know why. They should have completely scrapped it. But they're still going with it. Okay. But your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned and burnt. Poisoned and burnt. I didn't read that. I was too quick on the gun. Poisoned and burnt. So that is 30 damage. And if they fail to flip the coin correctly, that is 60 damage. 30-30. That's insane. That is very much insane. I can see this being played a lot. A lot. Damn. Damn. Alright, Turtonator. 3 cost, Fire Spin, 90 damage. Discard a Fire Energy from this Pokemon. And it's 120 health for the 4 retreat cost. That is whopping. Absolutely whopping. Damn, man. You're removing the energy, though. It's a lovely looking full art, but you're removing the energy. Ugh. At least give it more damage. Come on, man. At least give it 110 damage, for goodness sakes. At least. Okay. Alolan Sandshrew. 1 cost, 20 damage, 60 HP. So it's a water and not a steel. Okay. It's a water and not a steel. But it's weak to steel. So we have Alolan Sandslash. 1 cost, Spike Armor, 20 damage. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, do 40 damage to the attacking Pokemon. It's 100 health as well. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I just realized, Sandslash is not a steel type, is it? The Alolan version, that is. I don't think it is, if I remember correctly. I don't believe so. But yeah. That's pretty spicy. That is pretty spicy. Okay. That's gonna work well, obviously, with the 1 cost to attack with. Obviously. Then we have Alolan Vuplix. Finally seeing the Ninetails. 1 cost, Cool, 4th Cold. Take a water energy for your energy zone attaching to this Pokemon. Right. So how much energy is Ninetales to attack with then? 3 cost, Blizzard. 60 damage. This attack also does 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So it's a very non-EXE version of Articuno. Then instead of 10 damage to the bench, it's doing 20 damage. But it's 20 damage less up front. And it's 110 health as well with a 1 retreat cost. Looks like it's going to be getting an event card as well. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. But hey, that's pretty cool. I like that. Obviously, this is another fan favorite. I think they've done it justice. Again, it's a mini Articuno. But hey, that's pretty cool though. I like that. Alright, Shelter! Finally, we've seen ourselves a brand new Cloyster. Because obviously, the Genetic Apex Cloyster sucks, okay? I tried to get that thing to work so many times. It just sucks. Does not work. So, 1 cost, 10 damage, 70 HP. And we have ourselves Cloyster. 2 damage, guard press, 50 damage. Or 2 cost, sorry, 50 damage. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes minus 20 damage. So they're still going forward with that. Obviously, last turn, or not last turn, sorry. Obviously, last time around, the Genetic Apex version, it was minus 20 damage. However, that was an ability. It was not an attack. It was an ability. Right. Was it minus 20 or minus 10? No, it was minus 10, excuse me. Minus 10. So it has the same retreat cost, but it's a 1 cost. Or 2 cost, sorry. Yeah, that's not bad. I quite like it. Obviously, they're still keeping with the theme of the minus damage. Cool. Got ourselves a new Cloyster. Finally. Finally. Alright, Lapras. 3 cost, Surf, 70 damage, 110 HP. Obviously, we all knew that the original Lapras was absolutely crap. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Poplio. 1 cost, send your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. 1 cost, Water Gun, 20 damage, 60 HP. Brioni. 1 cost, Wave Splash, 30 damage, 80 HP. And Primarina. Ability, Melodious Healing. Alright, let's see here. Once in your turn, you may heal 30 damage from each of your water Pokemon. Oh my god. Are they serious? Are they actually serious? Wow. That is a mini Irida. Minus 10 healing. And it's not even a support card. It's going to stay here. You can use it on the active. You can use it on the bench. Whatever you want to do. That's crazy. So 2 costs, 60 damage. 140 HP with a 2 retreat cost. That is crazy. That is crazy. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I honestly don't know how to feel about this. I really don't. Wow. Shocking. Yeah. That is a shocking card. Okay. Alright, Crabominable Ex. 1 cost, Insatiable Striking. 40 damage. During your next turn, this Pokemon's Insatiable Striking attack does plus 40 damage. So it's very similar to Togekiss. Very similar. But it's going to be doing 40 damage and 40 damage more, so 80 damage. Not bad. 160 HP though, so it stays around for a while. And of course it is an EX, so you do take... Well, your opponent does give... Well, spit it out in a second. Your opponent does have 2 points. But it's a 1 cost to attack with. So you have this thing on the active, you're going second. You suddenly got 80 damage on your next turn there. That's a menace. That's an absolute menace. It's a 3 cost to retreat with. I highly doubt you're ever going to retreat with this thing. Highly doubt it. Okay? Highly doubt it. And where on earth is Karrablast? What? They did this with the other Pokemon the other time. They did just gone earlier in the set. I can't remember his name now. Where's Karrablast? Where is he? But still, that is an absolutely crazy card. Crazy card. Alright, Wishiwashi. 1 cost call for family. Put 1 random Wishiwashi or Wishiwashi EX from your deck onto your bench. It's 30 health as well, may I add. Wishiwashi EX. 3 cost, School Storm. 30 plus. This attack does 40 more damage for each of your benched Wishiwashi and Wishiwashi EXs. Huh. So we're finally getting decks that are based around flooding your board with 1 type of card. So it's going to become... Well, water is now going to become a zoo, in other words. It's got 170 HP as well. So that could potentially be 150 damage. But of course you've got to get all of those Wishiwashis on your bench. You can't have anything else there if you want to maximize the damage. That's a very cool looking Full Art as well. Yeah, if you want to... Oh no, is that a immersive? No, that's a Full Art, right? That's a rainbow. Yeah, rainbow, yeah. But yeah. Okay, I mean, I can see people mucking around this. I don't know if it's going to be taken seriously. Interesting. But obviously, as I say, you got to pretty much have your bench entirely empty so you can get all of your Wishiwashis out there. Then you have Jupiter. 2 cost, hook, 30 damage, 60 HP. And Arachnoid. Oh, my god, I'll pronounce it correctly in a moment. A Rockwood. I know how to say this, okay? It's just not rolling off the tongue right now. I'm gonna leave it, okay? I know how to say this. I'm gonna stop. I'm embarrassing myself. Alright, 3 cost, Dangerous Claw, 60 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic Pokemon, If your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic Pokemon, this attack does 60 more damage. So this is in the EX killer. At 110 health. Wow. That's a potential 120 damage there. That is ludicrous. That is ludicrous. Yeah, that is ludicrous. Damn. Okay, but it's a free cost though. Okay. Pretty cool though, with 110 health there. Alright, Pumukubuku, brand new one. Ability in and out. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, do 50 damage to the attacking Pokemon. Ooh. And it's a 1-cost Sprinkle Water, 20 damage, 60 HP. This Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from your attack from your opponent's Pokemon. Do 50 damage to the attacking Pokemon. So it's basically a self-destruct. In other words, like I blow up and you take damage. Alright, that's pretty nice. Maractus, 2-cost Wave Splash, 50 damage, 80 HP. Tapu Fini, that's the other one I was thinking of. Yes. 3-cost Spiral Drain, 60 damage, heal 20 damage from its Pokemon, so it's kind of like a Lapras. The Lapras we had during the drop event. Very similar to that, but less damage. And way less health as well. That's very demanding there. Very demanding. Pikachu. 2-cost Tail Smack, 30 damage. No Gnaw. They broke an array from the tradition of Pikachu forever having Gnaw. And we have ourselves obviously a Alolan Ex. We knew about this. 3-cost Psychic, 60+. This attack does 30 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So it's another gimmicky Alakazam. In other words. It's exactly what it is. Yeah. But it's only 140 HP though. Is it going to stay around for that long? Yeah. But it goes into any deck. Because it is neutral energy. Bear that in mind. You could run this Finn with Alakazam. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying. Alolan Geodude. Okay, this is finally happening. 2-cost Knuckle Punch, 40 damage. That is pretty beefy. Alolan Graveler. 3-cost Heavy Impact, 60 damage, 110 HP. And Alolan Golem. 4-cost Super Zap Cannon. 150 damage, but you discard 2 energy, 2 electric energy from this Pokemon. It's 160 HP. Whew, that is a hefty pay. Or a hefty drawback, excuse me. I was about to say hefty payback. That's a hefty drawback. Wow. Yeah, very much wow. Very, very much wow. So you need really, ideally, 3 electric on this to get it going. Then you're going to have 2 turns worth of damage off it. It is not the EX though, so it might potentially give you 2 turns worth of damage. That's going to nuke a lot of stuff as well. A lot of stuff. Obviously, the other golems have had full energy too. Yeah, I can see that getting played. Helioptile, brand new one. 1-cost Smash Kick, 10 damage, 60 HP. Heliolisk, 1-cost Rear Kick, 40 damage, 90 HP. So it's going to be a neutral energy card into any deck. Pretty nice. Charger Bug, 1-cost Vice Grip, 30 damage, 90 HP. That's beefy. And we have ourselves Vikavolt. 2-cost Disconnect, 70 damage, Junior opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards from their hand. We haven't had anything like this up until now. And it's going to be a 1 retreat cost for 140 HP. Pretty nice. Oricorio, ability Safeguard. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX. Zap. 2 cost, zap. 50 damage at 70 HP. Interesting. Interesting. So could you imagine all of a sudden that, let's dial back to the previous ranked season. Giratina, Darkrai Dex. If this card existed back then, you would have won the match. Oh, that is interesting. Very much so. And his illustrator is Jerky. Beef jerky. Togedemaru. Was it Togedemaru? Togedemaru. 1 cost, Electro Smash, 20 plus. Flip a coin if heads. This tag does 30 more damage. It's a coin Fiesta. Pretty basic. Yo! Oh! Oh! It's not an EX though. They can't give us Mr. Mime EX, can they? They just can't do it. Right. Tapu Koko. 3 cost, Volt Switch. 70 damage. Switch this Pokemon with one of your benched electric Pokemon. So it's a dip and dive. Or dive and dip. There's a 3 cost though to attack with. Yes. 100 HP for only a 1 retreat cost. Whoa, that is a lovely... Oh, is that immersive? It looks like it with the border, but I don't think it is though. It is a lovely looking card though, nonetheless. Alright. Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime. 2 cost, Barrier Shove, 30 damage. Oh, it's another Coin Fiesta! Why? Why must you forsaken my Mr. Mime with coins every time? I'm fed up with this, okay? Oh no, they hate me, right? They actually hate me. They actually hate me. Alright, flip coin if heads your opponent's next turn. Prevent all damage from effects of this turn. It's bad. Oh no. It's actually bad. Can they not make a good Mr. Mime? This is horrendous. We're never going to get Mr. Mime EX at this point, okay? Well, we're just not. The curse is forever ongoing now. Mr. Mime EX is never going to exist. Ever. Oh my god. Alright, Sableye. 2 cost, corner, 40 damage. Junior opponent's next turn. The defending Pokemon can't retreat. So we're getting 2 Gavangelas this turn. And 2 Arbok. Alright. Spoink. Grumpig. Side charge. Take a Psychic Energy through your Energy Zone attached to this Pokemon. Grumpig must be very hefty attack cost then. Yeah, not so much. 3 cost, Zen Headbutt, 70 damage, 110 HP. Pretty basic. Lunatone. 2 cost, Moon Press, 50 damage. Shuppet. 1 cost, Will-O-Wisp, 20 damage. Bayonet. 1 cost, Nightbind, 30 damage. Your opponent's next turn. They can't take any energy from their energy zone to attach their active Pokemon. Holy moly. That's massive. That is massive. Wow. That's gonna screw a lot of stuff over. A lot of stuff. Absolutely massive. Oricorio, the third one I think it is. What's there 4? I can't remember if there's 3 or 4. But 2 cost Dazzle Dance, 40 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Oricorio, there's the 4th one. 1 cost Spiteful Dance, 20 plus. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's last turn, this attack does 6 more damage. So it's basically a Marshadow. It's a Psychic Marshadow. Yeah, minus 20 damage. But a minus 1 cost to attack with. I can definitely see this being played. 100%. 100%. Alright, Cutiefly. 1 cost flap, 10 damage, 30 HP. That is weak as crap. That is hella weak, my boy. Rabombi. 1 cost Fairy Wind, 40 damage, 80 HP. That is a very, 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 very bad card. Even though it fits into any deck, no matter what it is, with a neutral energy, still a very bad card. Alright, very bad card. Comfy. Alright, ability Flower Shield. Each of your Pokemon that has any psychic energy recovers from all special conditions and can't be affected by any special conditions. 2 cost spin attack, 30 damage, 70 HP. But it has to have energy, psychic energy attached to it. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So you're more than likely going to use this mid to late game, I'm assuming. Okay, we haven't had anything like this before, ever. Nice. Sandy Ghost. 2 cost vibration, 30 damage, 80 HP. And Palisand. I'm gonna roll with that. 3 cost Spooky Shot, 70 damage, 130 HP with a free retreat cost. That is whopping. That is really bad. Really, really bad. Maybe it's going to be seen in some use, something I'm not seeing at the moment, but as it stands, that is just not good. That is bad for the damage wise, and it's bad for the energy upkeep. But it's a look. It's a good looking full art though. Give it that one. Good looking full art. Mimikyu. 2 cost, Shadow Hit, 60 damage. This attack also does 20 damage to one of your Pokemon. Ha! Ha! So it's a 2 cost, 60 damage with 70 HP. Wow. Okay. Obviously, it's going to synergize with other stuff, though. Let's be fair. If you have, say, I don't know, Dusk Noir in the mix here, you see where I'm coming from? Something along those lines. Tapu Lele. 1 cost Energy Arrow. This attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each energy attached to that Pokemon. It's a mini Alakazam. A very, very mini Alakazam. That's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. Cosmog. Alright, now we're getting into the meat and bones of this. Teleport. Switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. And of course, Cosmoem. Cosmo. 2 cost, Stiffen. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes minus 50 damage from attacks. And is 100 HP. And it's also a neutral as well, so you can put it in any deck no matter what it is. And Lunala EX. Yeah, we saw this in the trailer. Ability, Psychic Connect. Once during your turn, you may move all Psychic Energy from one of your bench Psychic Pokemon to your active Pokemon. 3 cost, 100 damage to attack with, 180 HP. Okay. I really do love these arts though. They look fantastic. Fantastic. Alright, Necrozma. 4 cost, Prismatic Laser, 120 HP. 120 HP. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So it's 120 damage. You can't attack next turn. 120 HP. 4 cost to attack with my ad. Cubone. 2 cost, beat 30 damage. Makuhita. Yes, we're getting Hariyama. Woo. I love it. I love it. 1 cost, slap push, 20 damage. Hariyama. 2 cost, push out, 50 damage. Switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. Your opponent chooses the new active Pokemon. Right. Right. Isn't that exactly the same as Grapploct? I think. Doesn't Grapploct also push the active to the bench? And then they have to choose which one comes in? I think so, yeah, but hey. It's Hariyama. Hariyama's very cool. I like Hariyama. It's a very cool Pokemon. Solrock. 2 cost, Solar Beam, 60 damage, 90 HP. Drillbur. We have a 1 cost Scratch, 10 damage, 60 HP. Timber! Conkeldurr! Oh, I love Conkeldurr. Oh man, I love this little guy. I love him so much. 1 cost Corkscrew Punch, 20 damage, 60 HP. Girder. 2 cost Strength, 40 damage, 90 HP. What are you looking like, Conkeldurr? Please don't be bad. Alright, Ability Guts. If this Pokemon will be knocked out by damage from an attack, flip a coin. If heads, this Pokemon is not knocked out, and its remaining HP becomes 10. Free cost, Mega Punch, 80 damage, 150 HP. I like this. I like this one a lot. I do. Thank you for making a cool card for once. No, I really like this card. This is very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, Conkeldurr is actually one of my favourite Pokemon. So to see this being actually good is very nice. Alright, there's Crabominable. 1 punch. 20 damage. Rockruff. Lycanroc. Signs of Evolution. Put a random card that evolves from Rockruff from your deck into your hand. Okay. I like the sound of that. There's another Rockruff. 1 cost, tackle, 20 damage. Lycanroc. 3 cost, that is hefty. Crunch, 80 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. It's a hefty cost though to attack with very little damage, but you do get that option to potentially remove an energy from them random wise. We got to flip a coin. Coin Fiesta. Everyone loves that. Of course we do. And there's Lycanroc. I think this is the female one, right? Yeah, this one's the male, and this one's the female here. Alright, 2 cost, Blood Fan, 50 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon has more remaining HP than this Pokemon, this has a 50 more damage. That's pretty sweet. I like this one better than that one. That is pretty sweet. Obviously, you compare this with Lucario. You see where I'm coming from here? Very nice. Mudbray. 2 cost, rear kick, 30 damage. Mudsdale. 4 cost, high horsepower, 140 damage. This Pokemon also does 40 damage to itself. Oh, that sucks. That absolutely sucks. So it is 140 HP. You're doing 40 damage to yourself for 4 cost to attack with. That sucks. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, Mudsdale, you suck. You suck. Alright, Permission EX. Ability, Offload Pass. If this Pokemon is the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, move all fighting energy from this... Oh! Move all fighting energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. Oh, Mudsdale, You suddenly don't suck anymore. You suddenly don't suck anymore, Mudsdale. Oh, this is amazing. Seismic Toss, 60 damage. 130 HP. Alolan Ex. You have to bear that one in mind. Oh, there's some synergy going on here. I didn't see that, okay? Not before, but I see it now. Crazy. Alright, Meteor. Don't know what the hell this is. Oh, it's basically a meteorite, but it's a meteorite. Never heard of this thing before. 2 cost, Star Drop. This attack also does 40 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Oh no, let me rephrase that. This attack does 40 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Wait, hang on. Oh, it's essentially Dragonite, Wugtrio. You don't control which one this goes to. Okay. Alolan Marowak. 1 cost, 20 damage, 50 HP. Alolan Eradicate, 2 cost, Scrounge and Scarf. 50 damage, discard a random item card from your opponent's hand. You know what I was expecting for that to have said? Discard a random item card from your opponent's hand, and you take it. I was expecting for that to have happened. It would have fit well in with the name of the attack. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be very interesting. Alright, Alolan Meowth, 1 cost scratch, 20 damage. Alolan Persian, Fur Coat. This Pokemon takes minus 20 damage for attacks, 2 cost, 50 damage. Alolan Grimer, 2 cost Sludge Toss, 30 damage, 70 HP. Alolan Muck EX. Was not expecting this to be an X, but hey, here it is. Oh my god, this is text. I didn't know we were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! 3 cost Chemical Panic. 80 damage. Okay, let me look at this, okay? There's a text here. There's an essay here. 1 special condition from a mon asleep, burned, confused, paralyzed, and poisoned is chosen at random. And your opponent's active Pokemon is now affected by that special condition. Any special conditions already affecting that Pokemon will not be chosen. So you can't have a double stack of burn, can't have a double stack of poison, yada yada yada. But it doesn't say that this will override an already existing special condition. Okay. Obviously, it's a 3 cost, right? Does this pair with Kogolo? It doesn't, no. Because I just thought it doesn't have EX in the card art. Or in the card text, sorry. Interesting. I can see this probably having 2 turns worth of damage. And of course you're going to get a fair amount of status effects applied. I like that. Absol, 1 cost or shadow, 2 cost, excuse me. Unseen Claw, 20 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is if your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by a special condition, this attack does 60 more damage. That is really good. Really, really good. You can go in with a Weezing. You can go ahead and play Koga. Obviously poison on that turn. Hell, you can even play this with Graphite. Got some little interesting bits here going on. We have ourselves Sharabish Garbodor. 1 cost pound, 20 damage. 3 cost Super Poison Breath, 70 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. What a rubbish Pokemon. What a rubbish Pokemon. No pun intended, okay? Marini. 1 cost Pierce, 20 damage, 70 damage. Toxapex. 1 cost Spike Cannon, 20 times. Flip 4 coins, attack does 20 damage to each heads. Ruined. Alolan Diglett. 1 cost Headbutt, 20 damage, 50 HP. Alolan Ductrio. 2 cost Iron Head, 70 times. Flip a coin until you get Tails. This time. Flip a coin until you get Tails. This does 70 damage to each heads. So it's essentially Wormadam. It's another Steel Wormadam. It is. Because obviously with Wormadam, you flip a coin until you got Tails. And you do more damage on top of those heads. I liked the original Dark Trio because of the shield. I think I can get behind this one here as well. Yes, I think I can do. Alright, Excadrill. 1 cost, slash 50 damage, 110 HP. Escavalier. Obviously that evolves from Karrablast. And obviously Excadrill evolves from Drillbur. And we have 1 cost, Pike, 30 damage. This attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Pretty standard. Not really much going on there, I would say. Anything crazy. Klefki. 1 cost, unlock, draw a card, 10 damage. So it's essentially Sigilyph. And I believe Sigilyph has 70 HP as well. Or was it 80 HP? Don't remember which one it is. But yeah, it's a Psychic Sigilyph. Solgaleo Ex. Or it's a Steel Sigilyph, excuse me. Steel Sigilyph. Okay, so Solgaleo Ex. Rising Road, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch to your active Pokemon. 2 cost, Soul Breaker, 120 damage. This Pokemon also does 10 damage to itself. So this is really, really good. Really, really good. I don't think I need to explain to you guys why this is good for. But it is really, really good. Really, really good. Alright, how on earth do I pronounce your name? Magarana? Magana? I'm assuming Magana. Magana? I could have stopped saying it now as I'm probably butchering it. 2 cost, Silver Cannon, 40 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon has an ability, this attack does 40 more damage. And there's a lot of stuff this set with abilities. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Ooh, nice card art there. Drampa. 2 cost, Berserk, 20 plus. If any of your bench Pokemon have damage on them, this attack does 50 more damage. Still no weakness typing for dragons. I'm just putting that one out there, okay? Just putting that one out there. Jangamo. Ho ho! 1 cost, Headbutt, 20 damage, 60 HP. Hakamo. 2 cost, Dragon Claw, 60 damage, 100 HP. But it's going to be electric and fighting energy. What a mixture. And we have Komodo. 2 cost, Cladding Scales, 130 HP. 130 damage, sorry. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes plus 30 damage from attacks. Okay, there's the drawback then. I was going to say, you got a really heavy hit in there. Are you going to take any kind of drawback? Yes, you are. 30 damage, so it's going to take plus 30 damage from attack. Okay. So chances are it may not even survive the next hit. But if it does, you're going to do another 130 damage next turn. And it's only 1 electric, 1 fight energy you got to find. So it's not bad. It's not bad. But again, dragons have no weakness. There's more coming into the game now. But there's no weaknesses for them. Tauros. 3 cost. Rising Lunge. 50 plus. Flip a coin if heads. Attack does 50 more damage. Skitty. 1 cost. Tackle 20 damage. Delicati. 1 cost. Energy Assist 30 damage. Take an energy or neutral energy from your energy zone attached to one of your bench Pokemon. We haven't seen anything like this before. For neutral energy, that is. Wow. That could go great with Rayquaza. Wow. Fletchling. Okay, there's Fletchling. 1 cost, Flap, 20 damage. Hawlucha. I know this little guy. He wears the fighter's mask. The one that luchadors wear. I know, yeah. I know him. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a dark type Pokemon, this type does 30 more damage. So it's kind of similar to Pseudo Widow, but it has to be Dark type. Yes. Instead of in the X. Pikipek. Oh, that's Toucannon. Shrumbeak. 1 cost 30 attack. And Toucannon, 1 cost Drill Peck 70 attack. Oh, it's a Beedrill. It's a genetic Apex Beedrill. It is. Except this time around, the second evolution, or the first evolution, sorry, is on a 2 cost attack, it's a 1 cost. And it's the same amount of damage too. That's funny. That's funny. Young Goose, 1 cost, tackle 20 damage, and Gumshoes, 2 cost, headband 50 damage. Stuffle, 3 cost, hammer in 60 damage, my lord. That is a hefty price to pay for a little guy. Beware, 4 cost, tantrum 130 damage. This Pokemon is now confused. So it's very similar to Snorlax. Very similar. Except this time around, there's a hefty price to pay for you to attack with to begin with. On a basic. Hefty price. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to see in play, but it's 130 damage. But we do have ourselves Delcatty now. Bear that in mind. Oranguru. 2 cost, Primeape's Trap, 40 damage. During your opponent's next turn, attacks used by a defending Pokemon cost 1 colorless more. Its retreat cost is 1 colorless more. Huh. That's pretty screwy. I like you, Oranguru. I like you a lot. Yes. Komala. Ability, Comatose. Isn't that the one that hugs the log? The one that's always sleepy? It is literally hugging a log. It's like a koala. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, whenever you attach an energy from your energy zone to it, it's now asleep. Yeah, I think it is. 2 cost, rolling a tackle, 70 damage. Big Malasada? What? What are you? Heal 10 damage and remove a random special condition from your active Pokemon. Okay. So it's very similar to Lumberry. Very similar. Very, very similar. Fishing nets. Put a random basic water Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. But it's random though. But it's random. Okay. I don't know how to think about that one just yet. It's very good. Put it that way. It's very good. Rare candy, yeah, we know about this. I'm not going to touch into it. I'm not. Rotom Dex, we know about this one as well. Poison Bob. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an attack for your opponent's Pokemon, the attacking Pokemon is now poisoned. Oh, that's going to work well with so many cards. So many cards. Incredibly amount of cards. Leaf Cape. This... The grass Pokemon this card is attached to gets plus 30 HP. You say what now? It's an upgraded cape only for grass types. What the hell were they thinking? Acerola. Choose one of your Palisand or Mimikyu that has damage on it and move 40 of its damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. My lord. Absolutely absurd. That is absurd. My god. Lima. Is that Lima? Lima? Put one of your neutral Pokemon that has damage onto it, or damage on it, into your hand. Oh dear. Kiwi? Kiawa? Kiwi? Choose one of your Alolan Marowak or Turtonator. Take 2 fire energy from your energy zone attached to that Pokemon your turn ends. Yeah. So we saw this in the trailer. And obviously this is going to work well with Marowak because that's a 3 cost to attack with. And Turtonade's being a 4 cost to attack if I remember correctly. But your turn does end. Bear that in mind. That is a good thing that your turn does end. Because obviously we have the likes of Volkner. But your turn doesn't end there and then. You can still attack that turn. Interesting. Guzma. Discard all Pokemon tools attached to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Oh my, hallelujah. They finally have a card now that removes tools and is a mass board removal. Wow. Holy crap. My god. You know, this is getting to me now. We only have 20 cards per deck. They really need to up that limit. Because we're getting so many cards now. So many. There's just so little room. Lana. You can use this card only if you have Araquanid. in play. Switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. Sophocles. Junior's turn. Attack used by your Alolan Golem. Vikavolt. Or Togedemaru. Do plus 30 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. That is insane. That is insane. Mallow. Heal all damage from one of your Shiinotic or Tesserina if you do discard all energy from that Pokemon. And Lily heals 60 damage from one of your Stage 2 Pokemon. They're really going all out on this heal jumbo mumbo, aren't they? They really are. There's so much of it in this set. But yet again, we only have 20 cards to put into a deck. So on one side, that's a very good thing. Because it means you can't put multiple of these cards into your deck. But on the other side, it's not a good thing. Because you can't really have great creativity with all of these new awesome cards we're having. Well, that is Celestial Guardians. That was a long video. That was. But it was needed. It was very much needed. So I would probably give this set an 8.5. Maybe a 9. Maybe. There's a lot of good cards in here. A lot. An absolute lot. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. Okay? I'm looking very forward to seeing what's going to happen. It's going to be very intriguing now. Because all these new cards coming out. Ranked new season probably around the corner as well. We're going to have to try and figure out what on earth's going to happen, alright? 20 cards only in the deck. There's going to be some form of leniency, creativity, whatever you want to call it. That's going to happen. But only time will tell. But as I say now, this is a massive 8.5 for me. It really is good. Really is good. But yeah, I'm done, guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. Really appreciate it. Been a good one. Really has. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this new set. Do you think some of these cards are really, really good? Perhaps too good? Let me know. I know, guys. Take care, stay safe. All the good stuff. Initial links, videos, lives, and got a place in Pokemon Pockets. And goodbye for now.